if we can just have an oral, just an oral second, and then we can just, by hands. Councilmember Drew, second.
On favor? Aye. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start. Well, first of all, welcome to my first Economic Development and Special Project Committee meeting. Really excited about being here, and thank you, my colleagues, for being part of the Economic Development Committee, and thank you to the audience who took the time out to come out and be part of our committee. So our first item on the agenda is the discussion to appeal ordinance calendar number 17497 and 13498 in regards to reversing the 30 plus years old moratoriums of economic opportunity discrimination. And so I have a presenter here by Mr. Russell Kelly. You want to come to the podium, sir? Yes. And thank you for being here with us.
My first question, Madam Chair, is how much time do I have?
Well, normally we give people 2 minutes, but we can. What are you asking?
I need more than 2 minutes.
For?
To explain everything I have here.
Okay. We'll start with that and let's just do 5 then. How about that?
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Greetings, my name is Russell Kelly. I thank this City Council Economic Development Committee for allowing me to present my concerns and my issues in regards to what I see as economic opportunity discrimination. Show you where I come from and show you where I'm going with this. In 1983, Mayor Dutch Morial selected the top 53 public school students. I graduated from Fort Shea to work in their fields. I worked for Brian Wagner, white Republican, for my last of my semester. I didn't go to high school. Then I worked for Jim Singleton, black Democrat, before I started college. That was in 83. In 86, when I came home for summer break, I decided I wanted to put t-shirts in the French market. I was told there was a moratorium that did not allow that to happen. All right, I graduated in 87. I come back, working for Deloitte & Touche, Touche Ross as an auditor. Tried to put shirts in the French market. Moratorium in place. In 1994, I turned a crack house into a restaurant. I hired ex-convicted felons, single black females on welfare. Tried to put shirts in the French market. Moratorium in the French Quarter. In 1997, I opened my second restaurant. Tried to put shirts in the French market. Moratorium. 1997, my first restaurant was burned down by the powers that be. Tried to put shirts in the French market. Moratorium in place. Hurricane Katrina hit. I tried to put shirts in the French market. Moratorium in place. They allowed me to put baseball caps. When people came to the French market, when the tourists came, they come to the French market, they come to the flea market. They asked, we want t-shirts. I couldn't put t-shirts. Went back in 2015, tried to put t-shirts. They said I could put aprons. Customers say we want t-shirts. So I started pondering, walking the French Quarter. We're not even talking about the French market right now. Flirty girls. I took a picture of this past Saturday on St. Peter's, a block out of Jackson Square. A whole t-shirt shop since 1986. Riverside, right across from the French market. A whole new t-shirt shop. These people here on the corner of St. Peter's and something does not even have a name on their shingle. New t-shirt shop. This is directly across the street from the French market. New t-shirt shop. I walked through the French market. You can find these t-shirts anywhere in the French Quarters, but they're sold in the French market. You can find these t-shirts anywhere in the French Quarter, but they're sold in the French market. You can find these shirts anywhere in the French Quarter, they're sold in the French market. You can find these shirts anywhere these are different vendors in the French market. You can find these caps and visors anywhere in the French Quarter, they're in the French market. You can find these handbags anywhere in the Quarter, they're in the French market. This is a new vendor in the French market with t-shirts. I've been going to the French market since 1983. I noticed these shirts are new as a new vendor. These hats. Now let me go a step further. I went in there on a Thursday. Look at the empty spots in the French market. Those are potential vendor spots. I went the next day. Look at the empty spots. Here's the thing. First of all, in New Orleans, it's not what you know, it's who you know. That's why I can't get a storefront in the French Quarter, or they will price me out of the French Quarter. That's number one. Number two is, I do not have a connection to Korea. I don't have a connection to China. I don't have a connection to Africa. So I can't get those cheap items that most of the vendors have, and they all have the same items. In a city that's 60% black, and every one of you been elected, you had at least 10% black vote. 60% black, only 2 black vendors sell t-shirts, are allowed to sell t-shirts in the French market. That's ludicrous. It's not a representation of this city. It's economic opportunity discrimination. Let me go a step further. I went across the street to one of the vendors, the new stores. I said, can I sell t-shirts on consignment in your place? No. Didn't even speak English. No. I went to Flirty Girls. They told me email the buyer. They said, send me a copy of your items prior to me approving them and selling them. No, you can steal my idea. Let me show you. You saw the garbage that they have in the French Quarter, and one vendor supply. I'm coming to the mic. One vendor supply all those t-shirts. So that's a monopoly. Every shirt that I print, I have a trademark for it. This is the book of my 100 and something trademarks. This is a line I just came up with. Life is New Orleans. It captures all of New Orleans. You have the crawfish, you have the red bean, you have the oyster, you have the beignet, you have Nola the light pole, you have a coconut tramp, and the Saints fan captures New Orleans. I trademarked and own Happy 300 Birthday New Orleans, but I can't sell them anywhere. I trademark New Orleans, Nola, Louisiana, established 1718. I can't sell them anywhere. They're different from everything you've seen in the French Quarter. It's economic development, economic opportunity discrimination, because if you leave here now, but go on a Saturday or Sunday or Friday, every vendor have the same shirts. 99% of them have the same shirts because they're buying them from the same guy who print them. And the same guy who print for the flea market, print for the shops in the French market. So my thing is, this moratorium has been in place 30 plus years. When does this moratorium expire? Everything has an expiration date. But no, it's to keep and continue the economic opportunity discrimination. I have gone, they won't even accept my application for t-shirts. First, the young lady at the French market told me, oh, you can't get in because of the moratoriums in place. 1986, 1991, I said, email me a copy of them. She emailed them to me. I met with a city council person, went through it or what have you. We had a discussion. I went back to the young lady, I said, at the French market, I said, well, I was told this is for brick and mortar, which I knew it was, but they have so many new brick and mortar t-shirt shops in the quarter. This is for brick and mortar, this is not the French market. She said, oh, but no, we have to follow our policy now. The manager, Ms. McCarkle, didn't even know the policy. She said, I'm just doing what the managers before me did. Let me tell y'all something. I've been around this city council since 1983. Not you all, but the city council since 1983. In 1985, I was the Appropriations Committee clerk in Baton Rouge. I know how politics go. I know how the land is laid. I'm not impressed, with all due respect, I'm not impressed with what a politician say. I'm not impressed with how a politician speak, elected official. I'm impressed by what a politician do. Tell you what I've done over there by Neo's, I don't care who don't talk about it, that's my brainchild. All those new development, I purchased 2 square city blocks of old box root beer plant. Got to rezone myself into a residential plant community from light industrial commercial. Use my own money and money borrowed to redevelop it. Look at it now. If I can do that, why I can't get a spot in the French market? When Hurricane Katrina hit, I started from 1 crew, went to 37 crews. I employed over 100 native New Orleanians. The flagger I paid them $15 an hour, 70 hours a week, time and a half. I can do that, but I can't get a spot in the French market. My son is a junior, major in accounting at Tuskegee. You know what my son doing? He's on a jackhammer, working with my construction company because I can't put him in the French market or what have you. He's going to Houston this weekend. He started his own entrepreneurship. He has his line of trademark t-shirts. He's going to a fashion show in Houston this weekend. The thing is, I'm tired of the 30 plus years of excuses in regards to the French Quarter. When people come here, when tourists come here, they come to go to the French Quarter. They go to buy t-shirts. And you mean to tell me only 2 African-American black t-shirt vendors in the French market? That's insane. Now you have other blacks who are native Africans, but I don't have no connection to Africa. I can't get statues and autocrats shipped to me. And how many people go there looking for that? Some tourists can afford it and go there, but they go looking for t-shirts. The thing is, I want a spot in the French market. If I can create over 100 jobs after Hurricane Katrina, I feel I deserve it. If I can turn a crack house into a restaurant and employ ex-convicted felons and single black females on welfare, I deserve a spot in the French market. If I've been trying to get in there since 1994, and you have people who popping up with all these shops, t-shirt shops in the French Quarter, and new t-shirt vendors in the French market, I deserve to be in there. Not based on what I say, but what I've done. The money, I put my money where my mouth is. For years. No one elected me. So I'm asking that this ordinance be amended, this ordinance be appealed, changed, or something. It needs to expire. You can't tell me everybody over there selling t-shirts been there since 1986. I want a spot in the French market to sell t-shirts, caps, to sell my line of items. That's garbage what they're selling over there. And they're all selling the same thing.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly, for sharing your story. And